The United States is a country where, due to both its global hegemony and immense domestic polarization, the media can never remain truly neutral, and where new perception wars are waged every single day. In this context, mainstream media has experienced severe fractures, particularly in recent years. However, an era in American television history has recently come to an end. Scott Pelley, the legendary figure of CBS and the iconic face of the 60 Minutes program, was quietly removed from his position. As the first program that comes to mind globally when investigative journalism is mentioned, 60 Minutes is not just an ordinary news slot. This is a massive power hub that directly shapes public opinion, where even American presidents break a sweat when confronting their interviewers, and Scott Pelley occupied the most prestigious seat on this program. His sudden removal from the screen cannot be explained merely as a routine anchor change. This is a critical breaking point concerning the independence of American media and the hidden hand of the White House within it. As you can see on your screens now, the real reason behind Pelley's dismissal is not ratings or a technical disagreement. The issue is directly linked to Donald Trump, who occupied the White House at the time, and the war he declared on mainstream media. Trump openly accused Pelley of broadcasting fake news. Pelley, on the other hand, fact-checked Trump's statements in every broadcast, confronting him with his falsehoods. This escalating tension eventually culminated in someone's cord being pulled. To understand the core of the story, we need to go back a little further, to the period when Trump was elected president in 2016. This was certainly not just a change of leadership for America. Because the fake news campaign launched by Trump immediately upon taking office exposed American press to a harsh reality. No matter how deeply rooted an institution stands behind you, the moment you are targeted by the White House, you can be labeled an enemy of the people in the eyes of the audience in a single day. The breaking point and political pressures. The real turning point came after Pelley's famous face-to-face interviews with Trump. Pressuring Trump with sharp questions regarding his immigration policies and relations with Russia, Pelley began to inadvertently generate immense political pressure on the channel's management. Conservative viewers were threatening to boycott CBS, while Trump's team was covertly pressuring giant corporations that advertised on the network. Known for decades as the fortress of objective journalism, CBS was forced to conduct a cost-benefit analysis for the very first time. Remember, similar media crises had occurred in the past, but this time was fundamentally different. The White House was directly threatening the financial lifelines of the channel. In the finale, hiding behind the pretext of exhaustion, CBS management sidelined Pelley from the evening news and subsequently phased him out from the main spine of 60 Minutes. First question, was Scott Pelley really scapegoated, or were his ratings already declining and they are simply blaming it on Trump? This is actually a reasonable question to ask, because in the past, similar conspiracy theories were spun around many anchors whose ratings dropped. These are the realities of the television industry. Therefore, some people believe this is entirely an internal corporate rotation. There is no need to exaggerate. Yes, there is a tendency in American media to attribute everything to politics, so questioning the Pelley incident is completely justified. However, when looking at very tangible data and the insider leaks from the CBS corridors at the time, I can tell you that this is not just a baseless fairy tale. Granted, we do not possess an audio recording of the CBS CEO saying, "Trump wanted it, so we fired Pelley." In other words, direct political interference is not yet a 100% legally proven fact. It is rather a state of affairs indicated by the parameters behind the scenes. In addition to this, there are comments online stating Pelley was completely biased anyway, he was acting out of pure animosity toward Trump, so he got what he deserved. My friends, we talk about this all the time, claiming that the liberal media in America is completely innocent and lacks any agenda would be unconvincing to say the least. This is not something we would defend. Pelley too may have crossed the line from time to time. However, viewing the free press as a mere public relations tool that executes every whim of a head of state is equally incorrect, because there is an undeniable reality. The media exists to hold those in power accountable. If journalists in a country are stripped of their positions simply for exposing a president's contradictions, it means one of the greatest pillars of democracy has collapsed. And if this is happening in America, why shouldn't it happen in the rest of the world tomorrow? I also find this particular mindset deeply flawed. The notion that America is the land of liberties, so censorship could never happen there, is a total illusion, complete nonsense. Wherever you go in the world, power seeks to silence the voice that criticizes it. What matters is being able to stand behind that voice. I also observe these kinds of debates on our social media. Either American media has collapsed, serves them right, or, on the flip side, Trump is establishing a dictatorship. Fine, let us make the right criticisms. Agreed, the institutions Pelley was affiliated with have global agendas, but applauding the liquidation of a journalist who tries to stand tall against power is, in my opinion, wrong. Appreciating something when it is done right and criticizing the system when it is wrong should not be this difficult. If the administration changes in America tomorrow, I will say the exact same things for the incoming government. I hope this dark era, where the media can be so easily engineered, does not last long. At a time when the world is digitalizing, shifting toward independent broadcasting, and mainstream media has lost so much prestige, we must not destroy the last remaining crumbs of trust with these types of political operations. And finally, as I always say, I do not believe in a future where the media will be completely silenced and managed from a single center. I know that people are always intelligent and inquisitive enough to seek the truth. I completely reject the defeatist attitude of, the system has taken over everything. You can no longer get accurate news. That is all from me. What do you think about these media wars in America? Let's meet in the comments.